Okay, game 5 here, and there are a few things going on this board. There's Peasant, obviously. There's also Familiar, and I think Familiar is going to pose enough of a problem to warrant going for the potion. Ratcatcher can trash curses as well as Bishop, but I think Familiar is a little bit faster than both of these cards, so it warrants the potion. Another reason for going for the potion is that Familiar will empty the curse pile very easily for you, making cities draw a lot more, and with teacher around you can make cities not only have +2 cards but a buy, a coin, whatever you want to put on it, more cards if you like. So we both open with the potion and the peasant, and this is a very unlucky turn for my opponent. 2 potion, not being able to buy familiar, and also I don't think they get to convert their peasant as I did. So I had all the good things and my opponent had all the bad things on this turn 3 and 4 here, and that is actually quite decisive. I do pick up a rat catcher because trashing is important, and you know my opponent will get a familiar eventually. Presumably will put a curse into my deck, so I want at least 3 rat catchers. I believe the 3 can clean up whatever curses come in, plus the coppers and shelters. So again, enough money with the potion here to pick up a familiar. I am going to pick up the second one. Maybe if I have 5 potion next time, I will not pick up a familiar. Maybe then it will be time for a city. So my opponent picks up a couple of rat catchers on the last turn as they need to, and now a bishop. The bishop is kind of questionable because it helps me to trash, and I will already be ahead on trashing because I'll presumably have less curses in my deck. So I think that bishop really just helps me a lot more than it helps him. Just a 3rd rat catcher would have been sufficient, I believe. So here again, this fugitive does not miss the shuffle, having excellent luck so far with these peasant upgrades. Getting to land a couple curses, and here in the $4 hand, this is a bit of a misplay. The silver, I should have picked up a market square. I didn't realize that there is an interaction between the rat catcher and the market square, so I could have picked up money that way, and not only I would have gained a gold, but I would have been able to get the money at a time when I can make, you know, like maximum use of that gold. I'd see it nearly every turn, whereas the silver, I'm not going to see it every turn. So the silver is a bit of a weak buy for me in retrospect. I only realize later when my opponent shows me that the rat catcher and the market square do interact in that way, that I should have bought a market square at that point. And I mean, not only that, right? I mean, market square for the plus buy, you could get 2 cheap 2s here, which isn't bad. 2 peasants, a rat catcher and a peasant, that's not bad. So still, and the goals are good because in my mind, well, I want to do the bank thing. If I could get 3, 4, 5 goals and a bank or 2 at the end, that is a lot of money, and I need the plus buy in that case. Absolutely need the plus buy. So here, fortunate to play Disciple on my familiar, gaining another familiar. This is the best way to buy or to gain potion cost cards. Just gain them of jesters, of disciples, of trash and squires. Great, easiest way to do it, right? Don't ever have to buy a potion. So here on 6, I could get a gold, I could get a city and trash 1 card. I could buy pilgrimage. Pilgrimage is going to be a big player in this game. If you have city, gold and bank on the board, you could get all 3 of those things for $8. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Hunting Grounds is also a possible player. You could trash it to your rat catchers to get duchies or estates and finish the game quickly that way, but I like the bank thing. So, but instead of those things, just going to trash everything and be thin for a market square collision at this point. I don't necessarily need the city at this point. I'm well ahead in the cursing if you've been paying attention so far. Well and truly ahead. And I'm even going to set aside my teacher first here. So really just one-way traffic at this point. Another market square here, hoping for the trigger of the rat catcher, because it is at this point now I can make, you know, close to full use of the gold, but I don't see a market square in my hand. I trash the overgrown estate to try to get there. I don't get there. I put the plus coin token on the familiar here because I want to reserve putting the plus card token for the cities. If I could do that, then, my business is fixed. I'm set for life. Well, life being the duration of this game anyway. 4 was hoping for 5 here, but this seems like a very good time to pick up a pilgrimage because I know I have market squares coming up and I can just trash something to gain gold. As happens here, going to trigger, have gold in my deck now. Very nice, very nice. I don't even need the gold at this point because I have this soldier following 3 familiars, so I have a lot of money that way. And in short order, my opponent is going to resign. They just overwhelmed with curses and cannot catch up in the development game here. Picking up my first city, so I'll just have a lot of draw and a lot of money, and yeah, saving us both some time, I believe. So thanks for watching. See you in the last game.